We're here at Bitcoin Miami with Crypto Keeper in person. It feels so good to finally meet you. I feel like I've known you for years at this point.
Dude, I know, it's crazy because you meet somebody on social media and then you have them on your show and you talk. It's technology, right? We feel like we know each other, never met in person, but it's really good to meet somebody in person too. You get a little bit different feel, right? It's like give somebody a hug, give them a handshake, and it's just different for sure.
I would say the crypto community is like one giant family. You know, half the family's fighting, some of them are getting divorced, and it's like everybody knows everybody. And it's just really good to put everything in person. And just speak to all the awesome crypto experts that are hanging around us at Bitcoin Miami here.
Yeah.
We're over here at the Foresight Ventures booth. They're letting us set up in this awesome place right here. So make sure you guys check out them. Their link's going to be right behind us. And most importantly, they're covering Web3 news on a global scale internationally, which is way bigger than, believe it or not, the United States. So kind of jumping into the United States, we're at a Bitcoin Maxi conference. I think it's very, very clear. And we're Web3 educators. So just let me know a little bit of your thoughts on what you saw today and most importantly, how you feel about the Web3 community at this moment in this bear market.
So the Web3 community, fantastic. We just had an event that we did for Danger Close Alpha, had people show up, show out, fantastic. Love the people. We were talking about how just meeting each other, it's great in person. We go to these different parties, we're meeting all sorts of different people that we otherwise know, and I feel like they'd all give me the shirt off their back if they needed it, right? At the conference, it feels very corporate to me, right? I feel like the conferences maybe just a little while back were more of just the Bitcoin-centric, altcoin-centric, whatever, just people in the space. It's become pretty corporate. We actually had somebody that we were interviewing asking about one of the hardware wallets, and he hesitated to tell us that it was EVM compatible. He literally was like, I was like, so what assets can I store on the hardware wallet? And he's like, and I'm like, bro.
Yeah, you guys got
it's still
you guys had the opportunity to watch the Ledger debate with the other hardware wallets?
We missed it. We were out a little bit late last night, so
no, you're all good. That's fair. I was good this week. I didn't. I'm gonna hit it hard with the content, but ultimately there was obviously a huge question, and someone in the crowd. I'm not gonna bash on the projects or anything in general. But someone got up, a Bitcoin maximalist, and was like, why do you support shitcoins? Meaning every other crypto project out there. And you have to understand, like, if we want this mass adoption, we want ETF funds, we want index funds, we want the big money to come into space, it's not going to be on one network that has high transaction costs. I love Bitcoin. Bitcoin's my largest holding, but ultimately, it's about bringing communities together. And that's what you truly see at these events. And people that are kind of bashing on it, because obviously the turnout, let's be real, it is like a third of the size of last year, and compared to 2021, it's a tenth of the size. And that is what I tell people when they ask me, people have not capitulated in this market yet. People have capitulated in this market. You can tell by just the event attendees. So, I mean, let's get a little bit of a background on just kind of, your thoughts, what brought you into the space, and most importantly, what led you into being a Web3 educator. How is it right now?
Man, I love it. It's great. Myself and Crusader have been doing it for a while. We met on TikTok, kind of, grew from there. He does the technical side of things. He's able to write smart contracts and do stuff like that. I really got in kind of by accident. I had Wendy O, the very first TikTok that I did, Wendy O was like, yo, go follow this creator. And then all of a sudden, the first night I had like 400 new followers. My phone's like buzzing on because I've still got notifications on for TikTok because I'm brand new with it, whatever. But I love the space. My buddy was mining Bitcoin back in 2014, but he was a hustler. He always had a hustle. And so I just thought it was one of his hustles. So looking back on it, if I could get into the DeLorean that they got sitting out here, I'll go back to 2014 and I'd have got in then, you know what I mean? Nice. So I just saw the space, saw a lot of different things happening. I liked what I saw in some regards, but I also thought a lot of it was just straight up just shilling whatever people could at the time. Not really, like, one of the things I love about your videos, for example, you do a really good job of breaking stuff down and explaining monetarily what's happening. I think a lot of times people are just very surface level on what they're talking about, kind of hit a couple little key points and don't dive into it. So one of the things I love that you do is you dive like deep into it. So props for you, bro, for real.
Thanks, man. Yeah. I truly believe the one way to end like the whole shillers are gonna shill. Look, guys, we're content creators. That is how you make business. These companies need a market. We want adoption. You want adoption with no marketing? That doesn't exist. But how we kill the shilling is eliminating the maximalism. We eliminate the tribalism. We stop allowing communities to fight and bicker and all this drama just accumulate. It is not healthy for the space, and it only holds us back further.
Yeah.
I mean, think of it, put yourself in the shoes of like the SEC, right? I'm listening to all these lawyers and these regulations coming out. What happens when they go type in crypto on Twitter? You know, someone comes into a meeting, they pitch them, let's say XRP or some, whatever crypto. It doesn't matter. They type in the words crypto. Just crypto and broad-based app. What happens on Twitter,
It goes nuts.
It goes nuts, and it's all shit coins, meme coins, scams.
Of course.
Nothing is healthy. Nothing is healthy. So I think that is the first part that we need to change, and why I'm really excited to even be talking in this booth with Foresight Ventures, their Web3 education.
Yeah.
But ultimately, it's about just starting to come together as collectively as a community. And until I actually met these people, I didn't even realize how centralized it was between Europe and the United States, Southeast Asia, and Brazil. If you didn't know this, the United States is the only people that use Twitter for crypto.
Really?
In the UK, it's going to be LinkedIn. That is their favorite thing.
LinkedIn.
And they shun you. Yeah, they shun you if you're on Twitter.
Really?
They won't even talk to you.
Wow.
So that
Okay.
works completely separate. And then obviously in Southeast Asia, it's not going to be English platforms, so you're getting a completely another niche.
Yeah.
And these are massive communities that are all separated and all political and needed to start realizing, hey, if we came together and actually stood up on this, the network volume and what we could actually build would be 40 times larger than what we have today.
That needs to happen. People need to be able to, like you were talking about the tribalism, for sure. The fact that somebody hesitates to tell you that they're on something else other than Bitcoin, that's a problem, dude. The crypto space as a whole, blockchain is the future. It is where we're headed. We can't head there by ourselves. Crusader and I can't do everything we need to do. We have to reach out to other content creators. We have to reach out to other businesses. That's how you grow. That's how you grow any business. I own a construction business. Do I do it all on my own? Absolutely not. You need people to fill in the gaps. There are people that can do things that you can't do. There's things that you're going to do better than others, and you put that all together, and that's what we can all do together. Everybody can get a piece of the pie. Everybody can grow, and we can win.
Yeah, I like to look at it this way. I'm kind of black-pilled in the situation where, there's going to be a lot of regulation, but we're going to get CBDCs and all this stuff coming either way. Whether you like it or not, AI, crypto, this is all coming. And Bitcoin, Kennedy's speech today was phenomenal. I only got to hear a part of it. It is a free market. This is, I like to consider it Wall Street 2.0. It is no different. This is the game, but this gives us access and takes us away from what is happening right now, specifically in the United States. I mean, if we talk about JP Morgan buying out all these small companies or small institutions, the banking sector, the fractional banking system, which is already a scam as it is, the U.S. dollar is the largest bonds in the world, it is consolidating more and more. And just like the grandfather of JP Morgan said back in the early 1900s, he's like, actually might have been the Rothschilds, paraphrase me on this, but it's he who controls the money controls the world.
Yep.
And so Bitcoin is that freedom, Bitcoin is that access, and opening up that access to anyone on all of these different altcoins is only going to what makes our space grow even more and allow us to continue to succeed in the future.
We have the opportunity, I think, in regards to our monetary system right now. Theoretically, we could opt out. We have the CBDCs that are coming, whether you like it or not, it's happening, right? That's going to be here. The problem is, if we give them full on that much control and we don't give any pushback, we're going to back ourselves into a corner where we have literally lost every single little bit of privacy. You'll have a 12-year-old coming down the street to mow your lawn, and guess who's getting taxed? Little Johnny's getting taxed on his lawn mowing, and they know where it happened, when it happened. It's all going to be digitally obviously on the blockchain. They're going to be able to see it, where it happened. It's kind of scary.
It really is. And what I tell people with this is because there's all these scary problems out there and people never give them a solution whatsoever. But there is a solution. And my co-host, Samuel Arms, he is very political. He helped just push through the CBDC bill in the state of Florida. That is his committee, Florida Blockchain Association. They made that happen, made it push through, got signed by Ron DeSantis. The way you use this system is by actually lobbying and pushing for precedent for things that aren't in existence today. So CBDCs, we now have a bill that in Florida was the first country. We now have North Carolina, South Carolina, multiple different states, not country, but states, looking at us to implement these bills because it's setting a precedent on the fact that they will not be able to control your intellectual property and give us still hope and freedom of what we believe Bitcoin is today.
Yeah.
So
I'm looking forward to it. I hope that we're able to actually do that. I feel like there's so many different layers of levels of control that are happening right now, and we see it happening. I won't get too political with it, but started off with some things that they were pushing on everybody in 2020. Wanted to see how people would react. Now we move into our money. See how do people react? And ultimately, we have different countries like France going out, and I'm not saying that they should be rioting in the streets, but what I'm saying is like there needs to be some pushback. The Americans as a whole get so comfortable that I think that if it takes me out of my comfort zone, if it makes my day inconvenient, then I don't want to do it.
I'll say it. It's
but we
just
need
straight
to push
corruption.
back.
It's straight. Like, let's talk about this TikTok ban, right? We're all TikTok creators
Yeah.
here. Massive followers on here. You know, we've built our livelihoods on this platform, and they want to ban it because of, you know, certain initiatives across the country for people tracking data and brain transparent, whatever it is. The United States, yeah, of course, right? I honestly truly believe it's BS. We've been seeing Meta and all these companies, how the world works. But ultimately, you have, you know, the U.S. using AI tools in their educational programs in China, and that's U.S.-based companies. So the hypocrisy, the corruption in the United States is just beyond means at this moment, and we need to start standing up. We need to start advocating against this. And if we're not going to vote for it, no one's going to, right? This is why we're standing up against Elizabeth Warren and all these people that are against crypto at this moment. But I want to get your thoughts on, you know, there's a lot of Bitcoin maximalists here, and I might piss off a little bit of people. But I want to talk a little bit about altcoins. I love altcoins. There's a lot of great communities, foundations, being the spearheads in regulation. I mean, you might love or hate XRP and Ripple. They're right now, you know, up to $200 million in lawyers against the SEC. That is good for the community, whether you like the project or not. What are your favorite projects?
I'll tell you what. I'll tell you what I think is going to like do really well moving forward. I think we've seen the rise again of the meme coins, right? And almost all of that has run on the Ethereum network. I'm a big Ethereum bull. My largest holding is Ethereum. But let me go one step further. There's still the problem with Ethereum with the gas fees. We talk about it all the time. The issue is there. If they're able to clean that up, fantastic. But for now, I think a lot of these layer 2s are going to be able to literally scoop in there because people are looking. They're saying, "Hey, wait a minute. I think I can do this a different way. I can jump onto Polygon, make the exact same transaction faster, and spending literally next to nothing to do it." So I think a project like Polygon Matic, I'm going to be stacking a bunch of that personally moving forward. I think it's going to do well.
I declare that at the next blue chip, like ETH, Matic, and Bitcoin.
It's going to do really well
because of the partnerships. The integrations are massive.
Yeah.
So I want you to give some advice to the audience as a crypto veteran at this point. What are some red flags that you see in a project that now we've been through multiple cycles can kind of restrain us from making the wrong mistakes that, let's be frank, we've all made in the past in these last cycles?
Yeah. I think one of the big ones actually can come from the influencers. And I try not to play into this, but ultimately, when you see a huge group of people, I'll give you an example, because we were talking about BAM recently, right? As an example, right? We had some information that this project was going to do good, this, that, and the third. Obviously, people wanted to see it do well to make some money, right? But when you see, I'm talking about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, everybody all of a sudden out of nowhere promoting the same thing, there's a very good chance that ultimately their bags are getting pumped or they're directly being sponsored to do so. And I think that yes, can you get in and make some money? Sure. But understanding the one thing, and this is what I'm really like, I talk about this a lot, you are gambling. You are stepping up to the table. You are rolling dice in the crypto casino. And I think one of the things that people don't recognize, they think, oh, if all these people are talking about this has got to be some great project. It doesn't always have to be a great project. A lot of times it's the fact that people are involved and they're making money from it.
Yeah, and I mean, you can see what we saw this week with Ledger. I mean, even companies of a large scale that are the most trusted come out with some random announcement that can hurt their brand still 5-10 years down the line. So that's actually very well said. This is, you know, something that people don't realize that's happening behind the scenes with these influencers and these marketing agencies. 100% agree with everything you said. But Crypto Keeper, it was an absolute pleasure having you on today.
Appreciate
Great
you.
to see you in person.
Hey, good seeing you, man.
And
Thank you.
you know, we'll have to have us on your show here sometime.
Yeah, dude, for sure. Let's do it.
Thank you, man.
Cool. Thanks.
All right.